All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Let me get this tweeted out here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, wow, what a day. So look at this. The SPX was up 14 points today, but not after putting in a really big day today, right? From gapping down. So certainly the range was more than that. So that's pretty impressive stuff. So what that did is they closed at the all-time highs, right? So we are basically right here, right? So the month is now basically turning into a little bit of a hammer. So from what was getting scary and looking like could have been a red doji is now moving up from the prior green month. So that is great stuff. The weekly chart, whoa, the weekly chart is looking good, right? It was an inside week before and finally broke out the prior week's high. And so really invalidated completely that, at least for now, I mean, right, there's 2 more days left, but completely invalidated the dark cloud cover that we saw last week. So not surprised, right? Everybody's kind of bearish on that that would kind of push through there. So right, if you guys recall, we had that really narrow range day last week, right? And from those narrow range days comes expansion, right? From contraction leads to expansion, right? So we've seen like a lot of big moves here, and then kind of that big push at the end of the day on Friday, and then inside day Monday, and then break that up yesterday for a hammer, and then continuation today. So so it should be interesting. I mean, futures are kind of flattish right now. Actually, the Dow is up, but the a couple other ES is down a little bit, the Qs are down a little bit. So Tesla got kind of slammed tonight. It's down about like 30 points. We'll take a look at that later if anybody wants to ask about it. And then so here's the price action though intraday. Right, those candles that we see are usually never as easy to trade intraday as they look on the daily bar, right? So, but yeah, quite a move today. So, and again, if you guys saw that video we did recently, sorry, wrong screen. If you saw that video we did recently on the VIX. Right, where if the VIX hourly is below the cloud, right, there's a good chance of buying the dip. So let's kind of look at how that happened today, right? Well, first of all, it happened right at the open, right? So we got a green hammer at the open and pushed right through, right, the daily pivot level. And again, all these levels are provided to our Positive Trend subscribers. And that pushed all the way up, right, to the prior day's highs and also this weekly level here too, right? Chopped around a little bit, kind of moved up. And here's the first dip, right, that you could buy, right? But, you don't just buy anywhere. You buy at a key level, right? And you buy it off a price action. So, a couple key moves, right? Here's an inside bar that broke to the upside. Kind of gave a slight pull flag and kind of came up, or you wait for the push through all of those, right? So we had this big, and then slight pullback after that, and then launched, right? Chopped for a while, and then finally got through R1 on the daily, and then worked its way all the way up. So pretty impressive day today. So what does that do? Well, it kind of makes this pivot look like nothing really happened, right? So it's kind of just waving around up here. So it was looking like a possible head and shoulders, tilted. I mean, I guess it still could. We still could see a move down here, get to a neckline, and maybe see a down move. But either way, it looks like we're really, really getting close to touch that, maybe that 30-30 level, which is the top of the channel, right? The multi-year channel from 2017 through 2018, right? Kind of seen this for a while, and then kind of here. So then we'll see if we build from there, or if we kind of pull back a little bit, or whatever the case is, because upper pitchfork is up here in like the 3180s, right? So it's very possible to get there too. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. So pretty amazing stuff. So good. Well, good. Everything looks like it's coming through pretty clean. So today I just want to talk about Netflix, right? And kind of something special about Netflix, right? So Netflix, was crazy, right? So it basically gave a less than stellar earnings report. Let's pull up Netflix here. Right, less than stellar earnings report once it pulls up here. Less than stellar earnings report. Okay, yeah, so less than stellar earnings report. And then we gap down, right, huge, right? So like 360, and we finally get out of this like huge congestion zone area, 360 down to 320, right? So a big, 20 point, 40 point drop. This is 15 and kind of chopped around. Here's day 2. So here's your 30 orb right here. And then what I've done is I've highlighted the inside bars as yellow bars here. So you can see just the price action off of day 2 right? Here's your 30 orb, inside bar, breaks down, right? Tries to break down, comes back in, never takes out this initial inside bar, gives you another inside bar. This one, again, under the VWAP here, and then finally a breakdown of the 30 orb down and just kind of cascades down into the next day, right? And then from there, we were looking for possible reversal opportunities. A couple of these started to look kind of interesting, right? But we can't lose sight of these stocks, right? Especially if you look at them every day, like we look at the FANGs every day, right? So we have to kind of keep that in mind that hey, this stock's not just going to chop around for a while. Something's going to happen, right? It's either going to break down or it's going to break out, right? And so it was on our list as a potential short, right? Because hey, there was a gap down at 300, right? But Netflix is going to do it. Netflix is going to do it, and here's what happened today. This is great. So this is the reversal on Netflix. So again, another 30 orb, right? It's a few days after, right? You can kind of go. While it's still active, you can still look at these 30 orbs, right? 15 is usually best on the first day, right? So here's today's 30 orb, right? Still active, lots of volume coming in the first 30 minutes, right? So it kind of puts these highs and lows in right here, right? And then what do? We look for price action, right? And so this bar came inside bar, right? And what happened? Well, what didn't happen? What didn't happen is that it didn't break down. So I would have, I would have just looked, right? If we kind of go bar by bar here, at this point I would have been like, I would have started got bearish on it, right? Because I think this is actually a red bar right here. So inside red bar, right? And then I would look for a breakdown of that for this 30 orb down, and I'd kind of keep my stop just like we did on the other one, and kind of keep my stop, over here, right? And so, but what happened? It did nothing of the sort. In fact, it gave me a Marubozu bar on the 30, right? Pushed over and then basically shot straight up. Right now, obviously the price action is a little bit different on the short time frames, but essentially in that 30-minute time frame, it put in almost like a Morningstar pattern right here. And so what it did is it closed over the VWAP, right, and then continued. In fact, a good entry was just over that inside bar break because the VWAP's right here, right? You could have waited for the VWAP break, and then either way, this entry was fantastic. And so from here, you can see, right. Nice breakout of the 30-orb level. Oh, so what do? We go to our stop, concepts, right? We trail bar by bar. Okay, well, that bar's done. We could put our stop up here, right? Let's see what happens next. Oh, goes up again. Move our stop here. It's breaking out of the 30-orb. Well, it's getting pretty good, right? It's moving up to like a, Fibonacci extension, the 1.618. Okay, cool. Well, it's still green. Well, that's still a pretty good move from down here from 309 all the way up to 313, right? We'll take a 4-point move any day. Move stop there, right? Oh, there it goes again, right? Move stop here to 314. Oh, there it goes again. Move stop here to 317, right? And then, boom, you get stopped out right there. So, but still, a move all the way from essentially 309 to 317 is incredible, right? Huge move. And eventually it actually went higher, right? So, and then it kind of dropped back down to that 317 level. But really, really decent move up into that kind of 319 area. And just to kind of show you what those options did today, we'll look at the 30-minute chart. Let's just look at the 315s. So, .Netflix, 1907, 26. And call, and then 315, right there. Okay, so we'll look at today's date, this week's expiration. And so yeah, so this was essentially today's price action, right? And so this represents that second 30-minute bar. Now keep in mind this is out of the money, so it's not going to be identical to the movement of the stock, right? Because the delta is pretty low. But either way, that break of that bar, you're in at about like 137. Worst case scenario, you take this bar up, it's like 150, 160, and then boom, keep following bar by bar by bar. Oh, get stopped out here. So you're in at $1.30 and out at $4.70, right? So just incredible trade on Netflix today, and that's what we have to look for, right? This is what we look for in the market. This is what we trade for, right? Not every day is going to give these incredible moves, right? But there's reasons behind it, right? There's that's the thing is understanding the context behind why a move might occur, and that's why we track these 15 orbs and these 30 orbs, because we knew this was huge, right? There was big, earnings miss, and Netflix is a big stock. It's a FANG stock, right? Something's going to happen, right? It's either going to break down like crazy, which it did day 2, right? So you catch that, especially that inside bar right there, down, right? And then day 3 kind of chops around, no big deal. You can scalp a little bit off of it, but not get the major move. Oh, day 4, not really anything, but this thing's not going to chop around for months, right? It's gonna move, right? And then today was the day to catch that, and they started squeezing things out. Just incredible move right there on Netflix. So So yeah, so hopefully you guys find that helpful. That is a great way to catch reversals. I mean, real quick, there was another one on Roku today that was interesting. I mean, granted, Roku was just no real news per se, but in general, just kind of looking at the price action here, had a nice inside bar at the bottom of its 30 orb, right, and that reversed as well, right. So, but Netflix, just has to be on the radar because of what happened. Even Roku, still with the type of moves that it has been having, right, should be on the radar as too, and that's why we keep kind of this short FANG list. And there's some other things besides FANG itself, but these are stocks that actually move and do very interesting things and gives us good price action that we could trade. And so that kind of shows everything there that I want to talk about on the Netflix reversal. So at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. And if any, and we'll try to get wrapped up by like 10:30 or so, or earlier the better. But that 10:30 so we can all get a good night's sleep for another trading day tomorrow. So it's good stuff. Powell's Construction, what's happening? Good to see you. Good evening. SMDC 4S, SPX was nice today. Yes, it was, my friend. So, just amazing, right? We just looked at that like a little bit ago, but just incredible moves on SPX today, launching from today's an expiration day, right? So, so you can catch kind of lotto plays, and just so you know, the 3015 calls on SPX went from a low of 20 cents to $4 and I think 50 cents today. So just so you know, if anytime you want a 20x trade, they're out there. So anyway, yeah, so good stuff today. Paul, good evening. Nudie Poo, how's it going? FB and Pays. Yeah, let's take a look. So FB. FB had a pretty big move today, honestly. Like, it's got earnings tonight, obviously. So, our earnings have already came out. But pretty interesting stuff, right? We're looking at the price action right here. It actually had a double inside 15 and then finally broke out of its 15 orb today. Again, not on the orb list necessarily, but it could be because of the DOJ type stuff, right? So definitely on the radar. Most of that FANG stuff was on the radar anyway, right? So, but yeah, after hours, that's the worst here when it's like basically just chopping around. So it had a huge bump, beat on earnings, beat on revenue. I can't remember what they said here with the at the conference call to make it go blah. But it ended up basically kind of flat here. So basically, all the people with lottos and all calls and puts are going to be kind of out on that one. But anybody who did an iron condor on this one, I guess, would be okay on that IV drop. So, or I guess selling a strangle or selling a straddle. So. But yeah, it was a little bit risky. But anyway, yeah, so it should open about flat, but it'll definitely be on our 15 orb list tomorrow. I mean, just kind of where it's at on the daily, right? Oh, wow, had a big day today. So nice recovery from its DOJ news, and then held its pitchfork level down here. So, I would imagine if we kind of open the same way, right? Big bar. Could get some continuation move to the upside. I mean, it's not like it's, gapping over a key level at this point, but if it does, if it's over that 206 level tomorrow morning, we might see a little bit of a gap and go on it, right? So, because at this point we are not seeing a. Sorry guys, let me open that time span up a little bit. So we are not seeing anything. We're kind of in the gap right now from that real nasty drop. Amazing how much it's recovered since then, isn't it? It's just incredible to see that. But yeah, we could start to look, if we gap over that 206 level, we might see a little bit of a gap and go on Facebook and start to possibly try to get up to start filling that gap and test small time highs. I know that chart was a little crazy, but yeah, so that's kind of what we're seeing there. And then Pays, so PAYS. This is one that Speculator mentioned the other night. So this is a crazy stock, right? This huge parabolic move, and then gave this sharp move down, and it's starting to look like it's rebuilding, right? So it's kind of getting lower, higher lows, higher highs, right? On kind of the on this daily chart here, just based on the candlesticks, right? So right, higher high, higher low. So we'll see if it gives any more action on this. Now I haven't traded this one before. I don't know how I think the spreads are kind of a little bit funky. Yeah, it doesn't really have like weekly options and stuff, and the spreads are, it could get a little, like 15 cents or so, but it does look interesting. It does look interesting on this. So if it can slowly build, right, it's got to, eventually, it's, if it's strong enough, it'll retest like that breakdown level. Good stuff. TJF, how's it going? Good to see you. We would like to see NVIDIA and win. Yeah, so NVIDIA. Oh, NVIDIA. Video was tricky today. Beautiful hammer, but being inside of that hammer range right there, I was like, oh, today. But yeah, so nice move, nice breakout. The trend is still up. It's looking a little bit bump and runny right now. So just be careful with this here. Okay, so a little bit of a bump and run potential, but really strong bar today. So I ended up, finishing on the highs, and after testing some lows and filling, some gap type stuff. So we'll see. We might chop around for a little bit. Might give us, a couple days like this, but then could work its way higher, right? So Nvidia has been pretty interesting. Been in a decent trend since we caught this. This was like a trade of the week idea with for positive trends there for our newsletter. So, but nice move. We caught a little bit of profit of that in here, and then just the continuation is phenomenal, right? So anyway, yeah, a couple open gaps. It could be testing here, and then a couple key pivot levels. And there's a big open gap up at that 195, 196 level. So something to keep an eye on as it approaches earnings. So Harvey, good evening, my friend. Palace Construction, we'd like your input on MRO. Let's take a look. And I got everything. Oh, and Win. Sorry, I almost forgot Win. Sorry, TJ. Okay, let's see. So we've got Win has been winning. Strong uptrend, almost like a channel type move. Let me let this thing load for a second here. Yeah, so there's our previous trend line. It hasn't quite taken out. Did it take out this high? So 141.26, 141.20. It did. It took out the highs today. So that actually helps it in its trend line here. So activate this, move there. So yeah, so trend is definitely still up until proven otherwise. So looking good. In fact, it's almost like a channel. So you can kind of look at it that way as well. Just kind of see what I'm saying. Oh, come on, click. Anywhere, click anyone. Anyway, you can kind of see that there would be a channel kind of coming up here. So there it goes. All right, so thank you there. Thank you, channel. That was kind of what I wanted. Hopefully you get the idea. Why is it doing this? Why? Why is it doing this to me? Okay, so there, and then there. All right, there we go. So yeah, kind of like a little channel that it's working on here too. So yeah, it's got room to go on Win. Nice charts. Harvey, hello, Palace Construction. Would like to see input on MRO. Yep, let's take a look. MRO. All right, let's give it a second here for everything. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. I don't even have any indicators on here. But yeah, so MRO, let's see. So down, here, up, here, breakdown bar, here, to its low, which is here. Tried to break out, failed, right? So you couldn't get over these levels right here. Came back down, and then put a no low in, and so you can actually move the trend line here, right? Because it never changed trend. There, trend has changed, breaking out. So right now it's the trend is freshly up, right? Had a nice breakup bar here and took that up today. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a little bit of consolidation, like kind of in these areas. It's above these levels. It might kind of come up a little bit, kind of test this trend line, and then start to work its way up. Maybe try to get back up to that 14.7 level. So good stuff. Sarah, good evening. MJ, hello. Prayer Kid, what's up? Great job on all of your predictions. So very, very nice. Best kept secret. Good evening. KN. Let's take a look. KN. Wow, fantastic move there. Interesting, right? This kind of was, this is that nulls that we were looking at there. So there. Okay, the trend is back up. Okay, still proven otherwise. So, just continue to look. See, it might consolidate a little bit, kind of move. Let's see, it had earnings today, which is pretty strong. So it might get a little bit of a move. Just kind of see what the price action looks like, kind of going forward. But I could definitely see it working its way over today's highs, for a potential break off of an earnings move. So that looks nice. Nephri, hello. Holding SPY from yesterday and quit at the weekly pivot. Due to a meeting. Yeah, that happens, man. So loaded Netflix at the dip. Great job. And holding well till tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Nice job grabbing that at the dip. Yeah, definitely held those levels really well today. Great trade. Session, Lulu, CRM, DE. I love how Lulu and CRM are like the hardest stocks to trade, right? So it gave a nice breakout today, like certainly. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. So it did push to a new level here. Let's see if it holds those levels, right? Because these can be tricky, but that did turn into a nice green bar today. I got to give that credit. So let's see if that holds, and if not, it might chop around here and then might retest those levels and then go. If not, be careful of that a potential undershoot here. But yeah, that was a very strong bar today. Impressive on Lulu. The volume did kind of increase a little bit at the end of the day, so that gives it a little bit of hope. And then CRM. CRM is all, but you saw that mess on Lulu before that breakout, right? Now it wasn't ascending triangle. Now ascending triangles, guys, have a 38% chance of success. So you just have to be really, really careful with those. Okay, cool. So Salesforce also very, very challenging to trade. You can just see like these bars. You have this big bar, inside bar, then choppy bar, doji bar, down bar, up bar. I typically just stay away from CRM, right? It's just one of those stocks that it's just like, really tough. I mean, if anything, it might be working on a little bit of a bump and run right here, but just be careful, right? Wait, see how it behaves around this trend line. They might come up. This gray zone here is like a congestion zone just from like forever with this thing. It's just this crazy. It's back in this zone, right? So just be careful with that CRM. I always say that. So and then DE. It looked interesting. It was pretty strong, right? As everything else was, everything else was down, and then today it stayed in the red, right? So it ended up, recovering, a good bunch of its range today. But yeah, had a pretty fascinating, run right there. So we'll see how it holds. DE does like to chop a little bit after it gets one of these big runs. So the trend line is right here based on these two pivots here. So just see what it does. It might chop around a little bit, see if it tags this trend line eventually, and it kind of works its way up. Dennis, how's it going? Good evening. Sarah, WFC. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. Golly, these it's just so funny. You get like these what is this? These earnings reports where it's like, they missed on, they had like bad guidance and all that stuff. I guess some of the earnings were okay, but bad guidance, it kind of gaps down, pushes down, gives you this really fake out bar right here. Once that bar broke to the upside, right? We talked about this the other day, right? That's your tail fail bar right there. So boom, right? Belt hold bar, right? Doji sandwich, essentially your spinning top sandwich right there. Pushes back up, gap down a little bit, but push right through it. The gap's up today, and then pushes even stronger today after bad earnings. It's crazy. Just craziness. A lot of these tech stocks or finance stocks were just like that. You could see it had this original bump and run type move, right? But that was it. The run was over right there, and now it's back. The trend is back up again, right? So, and it's so steep, it's almost impossible to draw a trend line on this. It's like it's like okay, straight line up, right? So, but in the meantime, I would just follow this trend line right here to see if it holds. This is just an undershoot of the trend line, and then it works its way up. So. Amazing stuff. If you're in it, it's a good place to start moving some stops up for profit. So, what's up, Thang? How's it going? EA. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at the gaming stocks in a while. Nice move today on EA though, up $1.56. So good move. Yeah, give it 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, so that was that trend line breakdown line, right? It's trending down. Let's see where we're at. So here's this. That's your low. Next pivot is basically just right there. So that's it. Here's your inside bar, breakout bar. Tries to break out right here, and then push right through it today. So very, very strong move. Looks like it could give a little bit of an earnings run. So just kind of keep that one in mind. Larb, how's it going? Snap and Tesla. Yeah, so Snap. Wow. We talked about this last night, and we put it in the game plan. We talked about it for positive trend subscribers. We called this out in the live stream this morning. The potential for a gap and go on Snap. It was gap and go today. I mean, not quite as easy, right? When you look at the daily chart. But if you go to the 15, right, you see. I mean, even if you go down to the 5, this could have been bought like right here at the open, right? Stop at the low of the day, right? Bought at the open and kind of let it kind of do its little thing real quick. Stop at the low of the day, or as it comes back up, right? and then just a nice gap and go right there. That's the trade right there. So could have even grabbed it after that first 5-minute bar. If you go to the 3-minute bar, right? Yeah, very similar, right? Could have bought that. That was a 3-minute orb on that one. 1661 all the way to 17, right? So real nice quick move on Snap. Where it's going, let's see. Come back down here. Well, the trend is still obviously up, right? So it just kind of broke through like some major pivot points here. So next kind of levels, right? Broke through that. Next level, major level right here is this 1860 pivot, right? And then up in the 21s. So now is it going to shoot right there? Probably not. It'll probably give you a little bit, some chop and some waves and all that stuff, but just need to track it, right? Because it's very, very strong right now. And then Tesla, yeah. So Tesla. So sad. It was doing so well, right? So nice uptrend and all that stuff. This is just one of those reasons that we don't trade in earnings, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it was green tomorrow though, just the way Tesla goes. But it got clobbered. I mean, just clobbered. Yeah, it's lost everything. So Prayer Kid called out these levels pretty good. I mentioned them on Twitter too. But here just massive drop right there. Bad numbers, bad guidance, bad everything. Conference call. Here's some algos and people hoping and all that stuff. And then conference call bad, right? So I mean, it is just waving down, right? So, but where does that put us? It puts us right at that 235 level. Okay, and so now where are we gonna be? 235. Amazing. That's right at like a prior 15 orb level that we traded. Really, really key level right here. So it's not really gapping into anything terrible, right? It's just kind of just that last move up is just gapping down below it. That last run, that earnings run we had, right, is a gap down to the beginning of it, right? So just back where it started from, really, So it's, nasty after hours, but not surprising that, and not too horrible, right? So if anything, there's a gap right here that it could work on tomorrow. So that's maybe 231. So you might see a little bit of push down 231, but look for some support there and some buying support, for a potential reversal. So we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. This will be a 15 orb stock for tomorrow for sure. So, and Snap will be on a 30 orb list for tomorrow. So CS ready? Thank you so much. No problem. My pleasure. Oh yeah, Xilinx. So Xilinx had earnings too, right? Did not see their numbers. I think they had like a 1 hit, 1 miss or something like that. So let's see. Big move today. Lots of big moves today. Amazing stuff. Let's see how it looks here after hours. Let's see. Auto zoom. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks like it took a hit after hours. Not too bad. I mean, it's basically right at the range where it started today. So yeah, it gapped down, but after they pushed it up really high, so it's only down like $5 or something like that. So just see how how it goes tomorrow. We'll look to do the 15 orb on that one tomorrow too. Pretty much it's been uptrending, so it's going to be down like $6, but might be back at this level here. So that's nothing. I can't imagine it like just flushing at the close. It might find some support there, right? So yeah, Xilinx should be interesting to trade tomorrow. NetFry, my pleasure. Robin, good evening. SQ, QQQ, and where's Diz? I didn't see Diz. Okay, and then thanks. Is that Bang wrote Diz? Okay, good. So yeah, so SQ. Let's see. SQ guys. I had a great question the other night on this. Just a general technical question. Be like, what do I do with this hammer, right? That we had yesterday. And so, one of the things I like to do is say, well, what's the trend line doing, right? What's the trend, right? And so, if we were above the trend line, I'd be like, well, the hammer's probably bullish, right? So, here's like a hammer right in the uptrend. Okay, it's probably bullish. There's a couple of hammers. We're pretty much bullish, right? Now, nothing ever moves straight lines, of course. Like so, but we get pullbacks and all that stuff. So where are we at? So this one was really interesting. This is a key day yesterday. It was it could have been a hanging man or a hammer, right? Because it was like right there hanging on to that upward trend line. And if we broke these lows today, right, I could definitely have seen us pushing down maybe to like 74 or something like that. But we had a big move up, right? So this push here got us back over the trend line, so that we're back into upward trend territory. So who knows? Maybe a little bit of a choppy day tomorrow. Maybe tech has a big move, but But yeah, so far so good. I mean, could get its way up here to kind of these highs, right? For sure over the next couple days or weeks. So that's that QQQ. Strong, yeah. QQQ, what did they set? Like their highs, their record highs too. So that's great. So there's our push. We talked about this. There was that minor pivot, never ended up breaking down out of that minor pivot level right there. Here's your highs. Move the pivot there. Trend is up until proven otherwise. So found some support here at this old fib line, and it still looks pretty strong. So just keep an eye on that trend line. So, and then Diz. This is not only for you, Robin, but also for Thang. He's got a question down there, and Fed puts out there too. We've got this one as well. So let's see. So Diz, I've got some good trend lines on this. So let's see how they pop up. Yeah. So this was the last trend line. We were still below this trend line. We're just doing what Disney does right now, which is just chop around right until earnings. So again, now just be careful. If it does get below this low, okay. If it does get below this low, 139.74, we could see some more downward push. We might see a gap fill, something like that. But if it gets over yesterday's highs, 142.54, we could see a push to the upside. So we'll see. Or we just see a bunch of chop as we get into earnings. So just kind of think about that. NetFry pays. Yeah, 50 MA trade. Very nice. Enjoy Life Apparel. Hello. Good to see you. Palace Construction. My pleasure. Best kept secret. My pleasure. Robin. Hey, Sarah. Shirley, how's it going? Albert, what's happening? Finding it tough to manage open positions in the first 5 minutes and trying to catch opening buys. I agree. We catch these moves, we buy these like swing trades, and then they gap up the next day, and here we are, trying to manage those trades and also try to put on other trades too. It's tough, no question about it. It is hard. And I miss some stuff too, like. It's tough to catch like that snap gap and go when you're trying to sell like AMD calls that we're gapping up and all that stuff. So, but either way, as long as we're making money, right, and being profitable, we can always kind of work on our efficiency stuff later, right? So, and then just kind of hone in and focus on the most important ones, right? QCOM, absolutely. So QCOM was a 30 orb list game plan item today. Right, as it kind of had a big move down after Apple was going to buy Intel chips, but it came off of that pretty good. And QCOM's been holding up really well. This is holding up like Rocky in a bad in a bad bout. So but it's got earnings coming up. Towards the end of the month, it is holding up a lot of these levels. It'll be interesting to see what their earnings say, like about guidance, see how the Intel chip stuff is affecting them. But if you go to the 30 orb right here, it's kind of took that 30 orb and took it right up today. Even gave another opportunity at the prior 15 orb high right here with an inside bar. Testing those levels. No, break out some more. Right. So some definite opportunities on QCOM today. And again, we just have to look and see what it wants to do. At this point. So it's been holding these levels, but it'll likely just chop until earnings. So they might do a little bit of an earnings run on it, but probably not too much. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see if some upgrades and downgrades come in too. So, hey, Shirley, let's take a look at Microsoft. So Microsoft, a very nice move today off of a red hammer. So big push today, closed at high levels. Again, I think this is looking really good at this point. So right now it is back in the channel. Right, continue the move. Right, back in the channel. So it looks good. Like you said, this thing could work its way up into the 150s for sure. MU. Whew, MU has just been unstoppable, guys. So much this must have had lots of short interest on it too. It's just everywhere you can see we've been tracking this one too, but it's just continuing its uptrend. So what can you do? It's just bullish until proven otherwise, right? And nobody seems to be able to prove it otherwise. So that looks good. FCX. Freeport McMoran. Would allow me to put some stuff on. Yeah, so I got through these fib fan lines. Next kind of fib fan line level is right there at that kind of 1244. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? So you get this move here, right? Maybe possible bump and run, so just be careful of that if it breaks down below that trend line. If not, it could work its way up there where you're seeing it. So, hey, Robin. AIG. Did that type in? AIG. Wow. This is kind of on the radar recently. I can't remember what they had. Oh, they had an upgrade the other day, guys. This actually is kind of technically like a 30-orb watch list item because they had an upgrade earlier this week. Yeah, pretty big one, I think. A pretty sizable upgrade there. And so let's take a look at what the 30-orb did there. Yep, kind of came up inside. That looks like, did that go below? Yeah, just below by a penny. Another inside bar, and then launched back up. So nice 30-orb trade off of that one. So bullish until proven otherwise. Robin, giving you a break on Diz and Roku. Yeah, so Roku, we looked at Roku a little bit today when we were talking about Netflix earlier. So good stuff. No, I appreciate it. No problem. My pleasure. Albert, plan, please, as well. Yes, I agree. We all need to plan. Let's see. It is important, right? Whatever you do, have a game plan. That's why I put the game plans out at night. Have a trading plan too, right? Very, very important to have a trading plan. It's most important, and write it down. We've talked about this before. We've done like the option series. We talked about plans. Anybody who's a member, if you go to our member drive, right? I've got the example plans in there. It's just important to be able to write it down and look at how much what your strategies are, what you're going to trade off of, what your profit potential is, and it's a humbling experience, right? It's humbling to look at it and be like, wow, if I trade this plan, I'm going to lose money, right? And but it helps to do that because you can look at it and be like, I need to change my plan. I need to find something that I'm more consistent with, or I need to find something that I get more profitability with, or something. When you write it down, and you find out those key factors, right? That's the important thing, with trading. But anyway, so here we are. Here we have our channel. Kind of been work its way up. I like how it tagged the channel back here, at these highs. I mean, at this, it was basically at highs, but it could work its way up. So just something to keep in mind. Just watch this. Kind of this stuff right here, right? A little bit of an ascending triangle type stuff. So watch an undershoot and then a potential move back up. Read somewhere there's unusual option activity in MU calls. Yep. Yeah, it's been getting a lot of activity recently for sure. And don't forget, you can check that in your Thinkorswim too, right? What was the thing called? It's Trade Flash. I think it shows option activity and stuff like that. So you can kind of, yeah. So here you can see Tesla down 11%. Most of the movers after hours are blah. Neo's down on Tesla. Imagine that. But you can see stuff intraday. We post these results here. Big delta trades like GE, MU. Look at that, 5,000. Big delta trade, 5,000 MU, right? Puts. So people are saying this thing's eventually going to go down, right? So we'll see. So this is a cool one to have, right? You can actually detach this. If you click that detach button that's in there, and you can kind of have that up on the side of your screen, just so you can kind of see what how some of the flow is out there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool tool. Harvey, yeah, take a look at Apple. Yeah, Apple's just been strong. I mean, to me, it seems like it would still kind of continue its way up until earnings. I don't know how they're going to swing earnings, right? I don't know what kind of game they're going to play on it, but it's obviously it's bullish until proven otherwise. But I just can't imagine how they're going to beat. I mean, their iPhones have had trouble. They've had other issues. They've had fires with some of their stuff. There's a lot. I don't know. Sometimes they can pull a rabbit out of a hat, but it'd be really interesting to see how they play that. So we'll see if it gets a little bit of an earnings run for us here as we kind of get up to that earnings level. I wouldn't be surprised if it pushed its way pretty high, before earnings, and then they push it as high as they can, and then it pulls like maybe even up here to this like 215 level, and then they pull a Tesla or something like that. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, my pleasure. No problem, Rob. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, whether you're watching it live or watching the recording, please subscribe on YouTube, and also check the links in the description. Please check us out on Twitter too. We post charts and cool ideas, that we're looking at, throughout the day and throughout the week. And then we also have a link there for the Positive Trends website, positive-trends.com. Check us out. If you like us, we do a newsletter, and we have a private Twitter feed where we post our trades live and do lots of really cool educational stuff too. So good stuff. Well, everybody have a great rest of your evening. Have a great night, and so we can all be rested for a good trading day tomorrow. And remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.